the hell of it. And
Ребят, привет.
the ultimate Jeffy Dodger, king of the lucky escape, and king of dressing in a red jumpsuit for no apparent reason. My, that was a close one. Let's see it again with another angle. There's the Dodger, striding purposely. They take a picture of that practice and put it in a TV show. Boris Gump said that life is like a box of chocolates, by which he meant 85% of it is honestly disappointing. And when it comes to watching car crashes, it'd be hard to tell if you're picking up two cannibals battle or an orange abomination. So I've been digging through the pitfalls to get more potential disasters than you were told to predict. And to keep myself from going bonkers this week, I use only tips that remind me of films. So get ready for some celluloid smash-up as we play.
What?
This is of Fast and Furious 9, in which Vin Diesel attempts a high-speed overtake. A good start, nicely done, Vin. Oh, he's gone.
What?
Dear, he went off the road. The bank robbers got off scot-free. Right, first positions again, boys. Take two. Welcome to the Forest Moon Endor, home of the Ewoks. Oh, hang on, this is Wales. Specifically the 8470 just north of Typical. Clean sun.
Он недомытый, так это мне не нравится.
All style. Lay on. It's a truck chewy. Well, I expect nothing less from the big polo. They will all see with him. Ah, it's one of those Transformer films. There's Scrapper the Robo Digger, and here comes Optimus Prime.
What? What?
Surely no painting, only style. Play on. Oh dear. And much like grown men watching films about talking robot cars, that is embarrassing. Gotham City is covered in slick fog, and only one man is brave enough to find it. That man, driving the new 5-door cabriolet, that's a bill with X.
Она туда когда достать ее?
Taking on too much, aiding with the exhibition.
Я знаю, если сама. What? Понял, сюда.
Now, this is a classic. It's one of those silent films from the 1920s where everything is a bit jerky. Talking of jerk, Charlie Chaplin here is driving way too fast around his corner. Is he heading to shame or style? Play on. You idiot, Charlie. See you next time on Shame or Style. Wheels are greatest invention, and this, of course, you count the front content. Sharp stitches for gripping, but what's the right amount of wheels to have? A motorcyclist spot on for 2, or a car rider's in the right for 4. Whatever the answer, one thing is clear. Cars and bikes will hate each other for all eternity, just like I with my wife's yoga instructor. He's a snake, and she betrayed me. This is back as we dive once more into the eternal battle of motorcycle versus motorcycle. This is 2 wheels, 4 wheels. Just look at all these half buttons. There must be a concert on. I wonder who's playing. A man has voluntarily thrown himself on a speeding motorbike. That means it must be Russia's answer to Justin Bieber. And look how disappointed he is that both his ears are slightly working. And as if pretending his hearing wasn't bad enough, it appears he's scratched in a Russian jet. Wants to make amends with 3 front-row tickets. Oh, Lord. Here comes the Siberian Kardashian. And now to some art. I call this one 8 seconds of an idiot fucking with a motorbike. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hey, thank you. I guess it's grass. I'm more interested in that skyline. That's an impressive looking sunset, so I'm guessing it's somewhere exotic. Jamaica, perhaps? or maybe the Philippines. I'm not particularly well traveled, so could do with a clue. Of course, it's Hawaii. Where else do you see a man wearing such an ugly appalling shirt? Get back to the
What?
car, mate. You're in danger of causing another accident with that hideous garment. My eyes! Getting off! Viewers, remember, you need to be aware of how the road you advise this orange truck
What?
to take your board. Go learn your lessons, chaps. I know. You're watching this from the point of view of the driver, wondering where the danger is, checking your rear view mirror, checking your speed. And then, back! For once, the crash is on the road ahead. Stay safe, sir.
What?
Isn't it annoying when you get distracted by a
What?
and you have left and miss your turning? Fear not, my friend, for your car has a reverse gear and mirrors. So just deploy both of these high-tech features and continue on your merry way.
Да, тут хорошенько посоплывать.
Not to worry, just exit your vehicle promptly and apologize. Or inexplicably blame him for being in the way on his ridiculous two-wheeled contraption. Pity the poor biker. Apart from his trousers being too short, this fellow has done everything right. The lights on green, he's going straight ahead, he's got right away. That's it, and I'm indicating.
What?
He has every right
What?
to go nuts.
What? Power. What? What? What?
Every day, more and more route users are filming their journeys, which can often end in disaster.
You.
Cameras are constantly recording our behavior on the roads. Sometimes,
Sorry.
the city
Niech on
is like
zobaczy.
playing
O,
with
nie
an
to.
Xbox.
To nie to. To nie what?
Except a crash costs you thousands and you can't reload a saved game. Here's my
Sinn?
top tip for overtaking.
Będzie sekstwa.
Be sure to have moved completely beyond the
Czemu?
before you pull back to the original lane. Great safety
Nilza.
having another road beside the road you're actually driving on, in case anyone can't quite stay in lane. Some people still have a real aversion to low-cost supermarkets. Come on, but they even have a premium wine section now. A lot of the techno
kostiumy.
from the early 90s never got used to the fact that a flashing amber light means a car is about to turn, as opposed to the
Komu?
beat is about to drop.
Słuchaj.
Your racing days are over now. You're driving a Mercedes.
Spokojny jest.
Some battles are just not worth fighting. Sure, you've stood your ground and refused to let him cut you up.
Śląski.
But you've also stood your ground and he's now cut your no-claims bonus up. A lot of things in life are hit or miss. Baking bread, the weather, my marriage. The bread might not rise, the sun might not shine, your wife might cheat on you with her yoga instructor, Pablo, and I might be.
Przecież może.
But every potential car crash has a moment where it could
Lew.
On Car Crash TV, we like nothing more than to turn the laws of probability into a fun game. So polish your crystal ball and get ready to predict as we say hit or miss.
Ja pominąć kogo.
We are playing hit or miss, aren't we? Where's the junction box jerk? The speeding idiot. Oh, here's one. Safely through. And here's another. Pretty nitty for lava. But will this speeding moron hit the law-abiding citizen? This poor pedestrian? This innocent street sign? Or will he miss all three and continue to break the speed limit? It's a hit. You're a buck. But you do get double points for secondary damage to that car. Every cloud. Now this lorry driver appears to have fallen asleep at the wheel. But is this vengeful
She's the hands
going to see him hit this car? His fellow trucker? His poor defenseless lamppost? Or will he miss the ball? Hold tight. And the lamppost gets it. And someone too. That wasn't even on offer, you greedy so-so. Right, look here. A cracked windscreen. So this chump has previous when it comes to hitting things. Or is he just nothing? Either way, he's found himself in a hit or miss situation. So will he hit the package? This elderly couple? Will someone learn the alphabetic already? Or will he miss completely? Play on. And the black jeep gets it. All together now. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Swerving isn't a good idea at best of times. But it's a trouser-rousingly worse idea when there's a bus heading right for you. So will he hit the jeep? The bus? The digger? Or will he manage to squeeze through that tiny gap and miss completely? Play on. Miss! Can we hit? Double ball! Well, I never. Join us next time for more Car Crash Conundrums. This has been Hit or Miss. Bus. You wait around all day for one, and then two come at once. Although in our next tips, they often come at once directly into the front of one another. It's pretty hard being a bus driver. You need to juggle all of those different jobs at once. Giving teenagers grumpy looks as they board, timing the closing of the doors as the students rush to get on, so they slam in a face at just the right point, cutting out all other road users without ever once checking your mirrors. Oh, and being aware of other cars. Poor them. Let's stop all try at once, shall we, as we get on the buses. Bus drivers need love just like everyone else, you know. They don't watch boy meets girl rom-coms, though. They prefer bus meets bus love stories. Ah, I wrote that. What's big and yellow? I'm coming for you. This driver to bust you up. Here's some full-on coaching in the art of judging etiquette. Something different is definitely the bus's right of way. If you try to take on a bus in a game of chicken, you will end up with a very thorough car remodeling. Oh, I love looking down in the back. Made it much more snappy. Oh, that snake was a bit wobbly. People think that cities are the breeding ground for bad driving, and that you're more likely to cross your bumper or wreck a mirror in the urban jungle than you are in the countryside. I'm here to put an end to that lie. Oh no, mark my word, those rural landscapes are full of pitfalls and cracks behind the wheel. Think about it, the cider is stronger, the views are more distracting, and the roads are literally a wonder. So buckle up, my friends, as we head out in the sticks. Welcome to the Wild West. Dry land stretched out as far as the eye can see. A lawless place where only the baddest survive. Unknown dangers lie beneath every rock, and evidently plenty of cowboys own a motor. And here comes one now. He's wanted, all right. Wanted for crimes against the highway code. Just call him Billy the Twit. The good thing about country roads is that they're less built up, so it actually makes it infinitely easier to see other cruisers coming from a long way off. That is, unless you don't actually look ahead at the road at all. Oh, nice logs there. I might pop a few in my pickup and do a hot roast. Nothing beats getting off the beaten track and taking to the dirt tracks for a little off-road action. By off-road action, I mean, of course, that
О, вот.
his car was
Ох, тут жесть. Опа.
The thing about 4x4s is they don't really belong on the roads. And every now and then, they remember this. So rest the control of the driver and head for the nearest wooded area. The thing about blind corners is that it's not normally a great idea to drive in the wrong lane when you're going round one. Funny that, isn't it? Hold on. Is that my car? Is that my wife? Is that my yoga instructor, Karen? The countryside is where animals go to hibernate. Badgers, bears, articulated lorries. There's one now, picking a nice spot by the side of the road inside that bush to nestle in and shut off its engine for a few months. Or at least a few hours until a tow truck big enough can come and collect it. Nature, eh? Isn't it just beautiful? When you're out in the city, it's tempting to have a stop to admire the beautiful surroundings and take it all in. Just don't do it when you've just overtaken a huge lorry at high speed and it's still right behind you. The thing about little rural villages is that everything runs at a slower pace. The working day is slower, the bubbling stream is slower, the sun seems to set slower, the Sunday roasts are eaten slower, and quite often the people driving cars have brains that run slower too. Or not at all. I often find myself on a long straight country road dozing off in the warm summer sun to the sound of nesting birdsong, and nothing can break me out of that relaxed state. But almost nothing. Pretty sure that would have woken me up too. Come on, Car Crash TV. We'll remind you one more time why it's vital to stay in your lane. And 50 Bs at the ready as we head to the arcade to play pinball. But first, you know the drill, people. What happens next? It could be a big exit.
Сколько осталось? У них 3, по-моему.
Welcome back to
Да,
Car
нет.
Crash TV.
Раз, два,
So did you get
3,
what happened next?
4 еще. Тут работа еще мыть. Капец. 4 штуки еще. Ого. Тут такие...
Yes, she's leaving him. Baby, come back. Just give me one more chance. I can change. Too little, too late, Kevin. Too little, too late. When I was a nipper, I loved nothing more than going for long bike rides with my mates through the woods and across dirt tracks until tea time. Ah, the memories of a more innocent time. Because now, there's nothing innocent about taking two wheels. It's a perilous path where the dirt tracks are replaced by dirtier drivers and the woods have been replaced by, would you believe it, vehicular lunacy. I don't envy these big kids' bike rides. And don't worry, every cyclist in this set of clips comes out fine. Learning how to ride a bike always seems more difficult than it really is. It's all down to balance. Unfortunately, there's a lot of different bits to balance, and that relies on getting the handlebar and turn. Oh,
Что ты камера?
But at least this would help him. Oh, well, I suppose tough love might be the only way for him to learn. Bill, Russia's answer to evil Knievel. I know it's only 12 inches, but we all have to start somewhere. Keep on practicing, kid, and do your helmet up properly next time. It's a terrible thing, performance anxiety. No matter how much you practice, even on the run-up, when it comes to getting it right on the night, that anxiety grips like a vice. These days, if you want to survive on two wheels, it helps to be a highly trained ninja too. Look at that form. He's clearly a master of the martial arts. Some pretty radical dance moves. Yes, I've been crossed too. Red light, my friend. Red light. I'll agree that the Tour de France needed a bit of a shake-up to add some more excitement, but I'm not sure that allowing cars along the route was the best idea. I mean, it slows things up a bit. Don't get me started on the forward roll the riders do when they have to hit the brakes too hard. Let's look at that again. As a boy, I often wondered what it would be like if you really did put the brakes on at full speed. And there's your answer. I love this job, and I love pinball. So all series I've been mashing the two together with the ridiculous notion that car crashes are a bit like a game down the arcade. And you at home absolutely love it. Or at least we think you do. If only someone would write in and tell us. So flex your flippers and bump your bumpers, because I'm about to pull this plunger.
Все равно, блин.
Could you clean that screen? Thanks. That's literally made no difference. Anyway, let's pull that plunger. There's 3 bumper bonuses straight away. I haven't even had a chance to fire the flippers yet, and we've already got 30,000 points. We've switched to night mode. That means all points scored are worth double. Wow, graphic. I have no idea what they mean. Maybe that graph is monitoring my heart rate. I bet they set you back a few movements. Anyway, here we go. There's a couple of bumpers, a couple of targets, at least one spinner. It's not bad at all. 50,000 points. Okay, half time means shunt time. We've got 1, 2, 3, and 4, which makes a quick fire 40,000 points. I'll let you into a secret now. If you can do 2 shunts back to back, that's a super shunt, and you earn an extra 10,000 points. But it's very rare. Not many people can do it. But I'm one of them. Who's the big winner? Well, we all are. 40,000 points. Okay, I'm running out of time. I want the best way to rack up a glut of points quickly. Truck bonus. And the board goes wild. We've only gone and cleaned up the whole table. 60,000 and a new high score. That's game over, folks. My dad always said, live life in the fast lane. Right up until he was arrested for building a bivouac on the M6. But whether or not you think 17 years in prison is such harsh, life is all about changing lanes. We start out on one path, but inevitably end up on another. Nice bananas. Unlike in life, On the road, we choose which lane we want to be in, and we're remarkably bad at it. So forget everything you know about Miller's signal maneuver and get ready for some inner dismal palaver, because this next hot mess is what happens when you don't stay in your lane. So here we are, on board the Spider-Mobile. Yes, even Spider-Man has to do a big shot sometimes. You don't get that buff by just eating flies, I can tell you. Looks like we've got company. Stay in your lane. No? Fine. Fire west. Yes, we got him. That's another perp off the streets. All part of the service. 10,000? Don't know what it is, but I'll have 5. Anyway, there's a biker speeding between a 4x4 and a lorry. And if this is Car Crash TV, then what could go right? Unbelievable. Well, that's going to be a polite exchange of views. Now, if you look very carefully at this clip, you'll see on the dashboard we have a box of painkillers, a wobbly toothbrush, and one of those donuts people sit on after having an operation on their butt. So, it's safe to say this guy is already having a pretty bad day. And what's worse, he seems to have the most psychotically calm motorcyclist who's ever lived. Look at him, he's not even slightly angry, and that's the worrying thing. I've got a horrible feeling I know exactly where that toothbrush is going. And all I can say is, it's very lucky that it's bending. Vopota, which I think translates into steam-powered bus. They are such a liability on the roads, but an ambulance has to follow them everywhere. Anyway, back to the action. Watch out for the white car on the left. Ah, gotcha. It was the guy in the red car. Now take away his license and make him get a Vopota. In this part of the world, some people are so rich they pile up gold in their gardens, which can be a bit distracting. Keep your eyes on the road, fella. 200 billion isn't that much. There's nothing like driving on country roads at 80 miles per hour until some lunatic barrels past you at 120 miles per hour. What a jittercock. He'll get his comeuppance, though. Is that Snow White's house? For some people, just one lane isn't enough. They want to be in all of them at once. But it doesn't really work like that. And his car won't work like that either. This time we've had enormous Turner sunset paint installed just beyond the city limits to keep everyone creative and inspired. For some art enthusiasts, though, the effect is overwhelming.
Ну,
14, 44, 14. That's neat. And finally, I don't want to alarm you, but there's a water-based death lizard lurking on this guy's windscreen. That's right. Accelerate and try to shake it off. Wow. Not even a crash will shift it. Tenacious little blighter. Sometimes at night, when all there is to watch on TV are shocking comedy clip shows, I just get in my car and go for a drive. Because I know it won't be long before I see some lunatic example of idiocy on the roads that will get my heart racing and my blood boiling with sheer stupidity. Okay, peoples, let's do this. Every day, more and more road users are filming their journeys, which can often end in dashboard-mounted cameras that constantly recording our behavior on the roads. From the bizarre to the ridiculous, the funny, to the downright dangerous. The thousands and thousands of dash cams around the world have captured just about every mishap you can think of. Now we're going to delve into this treasure trove of stupidity on the road. Things right and the finger of flame. We play the action of the video. And of course, there's nothing nothing like seeing other people's mistakes when it comes to helping us become better drivers. And please remember, all the tips, yes, that's all the tips we show. No one, and that means no one is seriously hurt. So drive safely. Not everyone is this lucky. Coming up on this episode of Car Crash TV, more calamities and incapabilities from the roads around the world that, had they happened in Britain, would have resulted in the following consequences of our beloved highway code. Article 88, motorcyclists, you should be aware of what is behind you to the side before maneuvering. Article 117, in normal circumstances, the safest way to brake is to do so early and lightly. The one about not operating the motorized vehicle while suffering from narcolepsy. And from chapter 2 of my new self-help book, pull yourself together. Just when you think things can't get any worse, they eventually do. Speed. It's a great word. Some of my favorite things of the word speed. Mexican cheese loving mouse speeding on cars. Pointless driving in a circle, that is speedway. And of course, speeders, which are the one and only item code I insist on wearing when recording these voiceovers. Let's have a look at the distracted drivers who truly live the world. They're fast, they're reckless, they're high octane, and they should all be facing at least a 12-month driving ban for total irresponsibility. Check yourselves in for a turbocharged selection of speeders. This crazy speeder has just spotted her husband crossing the road with another woman. What are you playing at now? You know hell has no fury like a jealous speeder. My people really have a life-changing experience right there. Look at those road signs. You see, this is the problem with the question of abstract initiatives to redesign the highway code. Speed is not the time for the slow and pondering it takes to appreciate modern art. That's no way to behave in a gallery. Monday mornings. Couple of glasses of wine the night before, and nervous yet, kids are late to school, not a problem for speeders, just jump in the articulated lorry, and you'll be there in no time. That's it, forget the road, as the crow flies, far the least resistance. It's really sunny, so it's not England. And it's also not a good time to overtake cars who are blinded by the lights, especially on one wheel. Now who's supposed to pull a wheelie on the rear tire? I never let things get in the way of my nap time, and by the looks of things, neither does this guy. Can I bring you a green tea to help you sleep? Sometimes on my way to dance class, my partner was just getting in a little bit of practice for the Lindsay Rock. This was like 360 from last Tuesday. My partner Oliver was so impressed that night she gave me a 7. In a city, such a time-consuming, mundane experience, it could be much more exhilarating if we all just worked together. See, perfectly done. Make sure you tap your parking app too. You might think that speeders are an insensitive, selfish bunch, but you'd be wrong. They're always willing to lend their fellow drivers a hand. That's this sturdy sideswipe. This fellow driver might never have found his wife's earring that she's been looking for the last 6 months. He's in for a treat tonight. After Peter and the Lost Boys left Neverland, Captain Hook decided to give up his life and embark on a career in the police force. That's right, the captain is now an inspector. Ooh, which means this speeder is going to be feeling the sharp end of the law tonight. The year is 3190 AD. Humans have colonized the moon. Just look at those craters. And despite our new home, human life carries on pretty much the same way as it did on Earth. Yes, we still have Russia on the moon. And yes, unfortunately, the crazy speeders of this world have followed us up there too. But thankfully for us, so much karma. In the land of the standard four-door hatchback, the 4x4 is king. And as you know from history lessons, most things are overthinking from buffoons or thoughtless invaders with a complete disregard for anyone who gets in their way. Much like the drivers of the 4x4s being spotted out on the roads. Time to crown some 4x4 failures. Orange chaos. Just the flap of the butterfly's wings on one side of the world could result in a hurricane on the other side. When this driver uses the street lights on this side of the road, that 4x4 goes for a total wipeout on the other. Normally, in one of those medical casualty shows, it's the person in the car who requires medical assistance. But this is a rare case where the car itself is diseased, as this 4x4 has unfortunately been struck down with a debilitating rash of pink spots, all top-like growth all over the body, and a severe loss of motor control. Don't worry, it's all come right by the end of the episode, plus some nurses knocking to go lucky. This prison proves to be a real attraction for the local ladies. All those ripped torsos on display, pumping iron in the yard, but stopping for such sights. I'm surprised somebody built a wall. Whatever the circumstances of this car crash, it's absolutely unacceptable for the driver to swear like this, as he must have known he would be on some cheap TV show. People really need to learn to keep calm and keep their feelings under control, the stupid. Now, the 4x4 may be the king of things, but there's no way that this driver should be on the road in the first place. What a massive mess. The first way to enter a right turn is to drive along the lane marked left turn, and then cut rapidly across 3 lanes of traffic into the sharp right turn exit. Of course it isn't you, 4x4 numpty. Get your ruddy car under control, you posh, overpaid horse's bum. Some things in life are okay, like its number plate. Some things are not, like reversing your ridiculous 4x4 back into totally innocent cars behind you at a final junction, right in front of an award-winning listed heritage building. It's not bloody okay, you motoring illiterate numbskull. Some people say that New York's Fifth Avenue has lost some of its luster. Some idiot architect knocked down the prestigious Trump Tower to replace it with corrugated iron shantytown buildings. It's put the drivers on it too. Sort out your modernist architecture, New York. Shabby chic is so passe. Coming up on Car Crash TV, the swap of 4-wheels having to the road with the bikers. What team think is out to play? The blame game. And strap on our spirits for a round of rodeo. But first, it's a fast start to this one, and there's no time for me to say anything witty and hilarious. So keep it simple. What happens next? Find out soon. Welcome back to Car Crash TV. So, what did happen next? So just witness some incredibly rare footage of the yellow Toyota minibus giving birth in the wild. Rather than birthing a mini minibus though, these majestic beasts give birth to fully formed human beings wearing electric suits. And common living stations though, onto the road. The mother immediately leaves their offspring to defend themselves. Continues, the young gives chase, and the legs are no match for greedy direction. Nature can always wonders duty. If you come across somebody wearing a helmet, dressed all in leather and strapping some powerful machinery, you've probably been to that secluded parking spot on the A547 just near my house. Or you've come face to face with one of the road's most accident-prone motorists, the Piper. Let me tell you about the Pikers. They are accident magnets. Two-wheel trailers and the scourge of the road. So it's time to decide if three really are better than four. That poor advertising board, he looks like he's seen some terrible things in his time, like that apartment block. Well, it's your lucky day, darling, if you were looking the wrong way to see this. Not to mention this garish pink ensemble front. In the future, the battle between the automobile and the bike has moved on. Look how this car uses its tractor beam to disable the hapless cyclist. He must be flipping mad. Welcome to the Great British Food and Safety. Oh dear, Sue Perkins is not impressed. Bored in traffic? Hey, why not take a walk? And then pretend you didn't really just take out that motorcyclist with extreme prejudice. What was this clown playing at? If you know, why not start playing with discuss it with like-minded people? During my many appearances on TV chat shows, I'm often asked why I advise people to put lights on their bikes. Well, it's because during the Arctic 6-month winter, you'll be completely invisible to all other road users, you absolute cretins. district bit now, and how the dickens did that just happen? Ah, those pesky, greasy tram tracks. Careful on the rails, people. Howdy doody, y'all. Welcome to the 73rd Annual Off-Road Rodeo Championships in association with Big Ned Beef Jerky, the only jerky made from 100% real jerk. So sit back, make sure Granny's got her tooth in, and get ready to shout. As we see how long these cowboys and cowgirls can tame their four-wheel beasts. This is Rodeo. Up first, we're on board with Jeremiah Cleethorpe, who hails from the great state of Indiana, where he lives with wife Marlene and four sons, Jeremiah Jr., Jeremiah Jr. Jr., Jeremiah Jr., 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 and Glenn. And that's not a too disrespectful 14 seconds for Jeremiah there. Our next contender is part-time off-road rodeo star and full-time snowmobile salesman, Ice Baby McSnow. Here he comes now with the shoulder to left in the capable hands of his big brother Shovel. Ice is under no pressure to go home soon, which means the crowd here are expecting a long ride. But kiss me, you told each other. That road is slippier than a cucumber in a messy. Ice is slid off at 16 seconds. What's that weird red triangle? Must be one of the UFOs. On board now,
Sure.
Miss Nebraska, Eloise Golden, and this beauty pageant champion might be a pretty picture. Looking sweet. And for the time of just 8 seconds, that rodeo trophy will not be joined by Miss Nebraska Crown, Sash, and lifetime supply of cream corn in her trophy cabinet. Up next, it's Dr. Bernhard Lovehandle, hailing from Missouri, a chiropractor by day, an Elvis impersonator by night. The good doctor is in great shape with a strong start here. With this kind of sublime driving, you just can't help falling in love with off-road rodeo. With Dr. Lovehandle, hold on for just a few seconds, or he'll be going from a jack to a king. But oh no, the good doctor's off with just a score of 18 seconds. He's bound to be all shook up. We're on board with current champion and this year's hot favorite, Dolores Montgomery. Well, it looks like last year's prize, 12 months free supply of moonshine, has severely affected her off-road rodeo skills, and she's off in just 7 seconds. Our final contender making his long-awaited off-road rodeo debut is Billy Joe Bodine. And it's a steady start for young Billy Joe, who in his spare time likes firing rifles at the moon while dressed as 45th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump. That looks like current leader Aspen Snow taking a spin ahead. Billy Joe is off board, but it won't be still. After 26 seconds on the clock, the crowd goes wild as we have a new champion. Well done, Billy Joe Bodine. Thanks for tuning in, folks, to Off-Road Rodeo. Today, he was that someone or something is responsible for a fault or God. My words, people, not the words of the Oxford English Dictionary, although by amazing coincidence, theirs are exactly the same. On this show, we spread the blame with a big pointy finger. That hasn't been updated since Series 1. Come on, guys, I time we fork out for a new graphic. No? Fine, but you're making this show look cheap. It's the blame game. Okay, well, it's either the end of days or this is a broken dashboard camera. Either way, our driver is about to collide with those fast-moving lights on the right, which is probably a UFO. But who's to blame? Earth-based driver or the aliens on the right? Why, back and you'll see what I assume passes for a green light in this weird netherworld, which means for our UFO friend arriving from the right, it's the lane! On Earth for seconds, and these aliens have already got 3 points. More alien spacecraft here, but at least their full beams are lighting up this junction nicely. So those two earthly motorists can have a well-lit car crash. So who's going to be responsible? If you look to your right, the lights have just changed to amber. So although our friend here is riding his luck, there's no way the other driver's sets could have gone to green yet. No, green! 10 points for a beautifully executed recovery spin. A quick run up on this flip. And an easy resolution too, we think. Yes, little white fan, unless your driver is colorblind or looking at saucy pictures on his phone, he cannot fail to see that the light up above is red. So it's a delicious load of plain paella to you, amigo. And because you've been so good, we ended the treats our first ever blame game featuring two scooters. I am listening. The question is, are we on a one-way street or not? Well, the clue is in the parking cars. Yes, they're all facing towards us, which means this isn't a one-way street. Therefore, the fellow in red should be more careful overtaking. Blame you, and also congratulations. You are our very first Blame Game scooter star. Now pick yourself up and get the drinks in. This calls for a celebration. Ladies and gentlemen, what's your Blame Game? Sherlock Holmes, Hercule Poirot, Batman, all claim to be the world's greatest detective. And while they might be able to solve a complicated murder mystery, they would struggle in deciphering the guilty party responsible for a car crash. That's why I need you, seasoned Car Crash TV viewers, to don your tail cover, adjust your monocle, pop in your Batmobile, and help me solve another crash scene investigation. Well, this is a mess. I'm not talking about the state of the windscreen, although our driver could do this for holding the wipers on to give us a better view, but this is the hand we've been dealt, so we better step to it. 3 vehicles at the scene, but only one will be making its next stop, the interview room. Is it car A, car B, or car C? Think it practice? Let's find out. We're at a red light there, so I'm not sure that black car straight ahead should be advancing so confidently. Yes, as I detected, car B is the guilty party, and as well as wrecking car A, he's also taken out the traffic light too. That's double the time for you, my friend. Take him down. Life is full of surprises, and never more so than that time in the hotel sauna after the TV Clip Show Awards. But that's been dealt with now. No further inquiries must be directed to my legal team. Speaking of accidental surprises, this next action statement is about things going seriously amiss. It was like how it was talking. There's a misunderstanding. Somebody behind to have to answer the same question. So keep your eyes peeled, because things are about to get weird and wonderful. I couldn't let touch my sock. Is it just me, or does that barn on the right there look like it's nodded off? Speaking of nodding off, this farmer was at the local moonshine bar last night, and maybe in need of a power nap. No time like the present, is there? That's it. A couple of hours, a KFC, and he'll be as bright as rain. Got a puncher, and we've got to attack your jack. Not a problem with this guy. Ingenuity at its finest. I mean, what the hell is going on our roads? Talking of which, how the hell did these people end up here? They're in heavy traffic, facing the wrong way, hundreds of yards away from a junction. Where's your sense of urgency? Get out of the way! We've balanced! So here we go. Easy does it. Make sure you straddle both lanes. Seriously, don't rush. None of us have lives to go to. And what's she doing looking at us? If you're there, we can get it into the bed. Causing chaos on the road. Stand up and drive away quickly. You're all right. No one noticed you smashed the traffic light. Here's the kind of bus driver I like. He's driving towards oncoming traffic on the wrong side of the street. So he stops in a way so he can get past. Takes a breather to find some lovely Belgian ladies on Tinder. Then opens the doors. Whatever training school he went to, just swipe this clown left. These days, none of us have driven the back of our car for a spare tire. Well, this guy's got the solution. Just let it ride along behind you. Brilliant concept. I'm in. Welcome to our occasional series we like to call Driving the Long Way Round. Episode 12, Flying Pedal. 1.
Три готово.
2. Put body down.
Получится 5.
3. Assess my
2, 3, 4,
4. Send wife inside.
5, 6. Смотри, 6. 6 стопов.
Having successfully paid, drive off, leaving pump in car, door open, bonnet open, and wife on top of it. 6. Alternatively, ask a member of the public to lend assistance. 7. Drive off again, now we've got the doors open, bonnet open, wife dangerous.
А, наверное, не еще будут.
Outside car, and petrol tank not closed. 8. Stop immediately in the middle of Biggie Road outside Central Station to ensure your bonnet is still raised and driver's door open. Congratulations, you have successfully purchased petrol. Every day, more and more users are filming their journeys, which can often end in disaster. An Eastern Europe dashboard mounted cameras at the constantly recording our behavior on the roads. From the bizarre, the ridiculous, downright dangerous. Thousands of dash cams around the world have captured just about every mishap you can think of. Now we're here to tell you this treasure trove of stupidity on the road. Things right, maybe accident to see when it comes to helping us become better drivers. And please remember, on all the tips, yes, that's all the tips we show, no one is seriously hurt. Like they say, not everyone is listening. Still to come on Darknet TV, more diabolical and ghastly driving from the highways and byways of the world that inhabited Britain, resulting from falling contraventions of the Highway Code. Article 162. Before overtaking, you should make sure the road is sufficiently clear ahead. Article 147. Be careful of and considerate towards all types of road users. The one about always accelerating on ice with extreme prejudice. And from chapter 2 of my guide to Britain's hottest car parks.
Камера, блин.
When there's something strange in the neighborhood, you've got to call. That's right, the relevant authorities. Hang on. Did that guy just slam on the brakes and sprint across the traffic and drive straight at a policeman? Anyway, as I was saying, where would we be without our wonderful emergency services, eh? Some might think that's a rhetorical question, but if you don't want to cutbacks, you'll probably find out soon enough. Bit of politics for you there. Don't say we here at Car Crash TV just spend our time making fun of those idiots. We also have important social messages to you out of the... no, it's just for certain producers. We do just make fun of useless idiots. So, as I was saying, we must always seek the help of the relevant authorities in times of crisis. Oh my God, that was close. Let's see it again. It's definitely an emergency on down the road. In this part of the world, don't pay attention to signs. The fire trucks don't pay attention to motorists. That cat's not going to get itself down to the stream. A winter wonderland, an easy open road to this ambulance. What could possibly spoil this picture postcard scene? So I know that some total numbskulls spinning round and driving towards oncoming traffic on the wrong side of the road. Lovely churches, sir. And on a similar theme, here's a health and safety tip. Never reverse down a dual carriageway. If there's one thing short to attract the unwanted attention of the law, then it's this motoring roadblock. You're in trouble now, pilot. My cops are coming. Make that big trouble. Now even though we could have made a much better video from our 2000 hit spinning around, he ditched the gold hot pants and used this clip instead. When this unwitting driver got hit by the speeding ambulance, he must have assumed he was only weeks away from top stardom. But I.E. call never came. A cruel and heartless. It is a slow day for an ambulance driver, but he can always drum up some business by driving at high speed along the highway. This Mercedes driver likes to park up on a slippery road, call the fire brigade, sit back, and wait for something to happen. And sure enough, it paid off again. Great Hobbit, there's got to be a less disgusting way to get this done, isn't it? Rather than insect, it makes a really outside, you know, getting it going off the banging stuff these days, and is safely driven only by good quality Yorkshiremen. Which means this is a spiritual home of proper parking. We'll learn you. A beautiful Yorkshire afternoon with a good there. The perfect playing ground for the darkers. Effortlessly done. You won't see that quality in rubbish southern places like Liverpool. One of the top streets in Leeds here, and the wide car in front, he is about to line up for his extra piece of parallel parking, positioned himself perfectly there, stepping up to the space like a batsman goes to the crease. Magical stuff. Yorkshire parking is about seeing his face and taking it. Never mind the fact that he's traffic is away. That twist of the horn from the onlooker, indication of a job well done. This is a picture, isn't it? A look up ahead, there's the eagle, flying towards on this side of the bank. And here comes one of the regulars, giving it time to miles. I'll tell you what, with that manoeuvre, he earned it. In Yorkshire, you see his face, you go for it. Now wrong with that, it's really good. Last up, and it's the area of outstanding natural beauty. That is the Yorkshire Dales. Just let that view sink in and find out if you like. Yorkshire Parking Views, signing off. This is a tremendous road junction where there are so many lane-changing accidents, they simply replay the action live on a big screen for everyone to enjoy. What a wonderful idea. Because right now, it's time to take a look at our local rail drivers undertaking some terrible multi-lane motion maneuvers. And doing so with considerable amount of style. Yes, this is the art of overtaking. It's important to remember 3 simple steps when attempting to overtake a car. 1, take a minute. 2, signal. 3, drive actively across 3 lanes of traffic. Exactly like that. Well done, Sam. You can have this one for free. Always avoid pulling out in front of an oncoming bus. I know. I think you can't beat a good cup of coffee in the morning. And this mobile Bristol's coffee is so good it can stop traffic. Mine's a latte while you're there. And pop a dash of that vanilla Philippine. Bellissimo. A beautiful and peaceful planet of Tatooine now, and it looks like R2-D2 and C-3PO are out on a joyride, but they don't have a license. Luckily, Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi is at hand to use the Force. The problem with this show is that sometimes we revel too much in gratuitous smash-ups. Well, I'm making a stand. We're better than this. Gary, listen, I can't take this anymore. You need to get me out of this. What about that panto in Gravesend? Driving at that will be a task for sure, especially if you forget to take regular breaks. Luckily for this fella, the driver of this 4x4 and is only too willing to help him get parked up so he can catch up on his beauty sleep. The kindness of strangers truly knows no bounds.
C'est une bonne.
Life is so hectic these days. Sometimes you just need a little survivor. Become wonderful. Get off the date with another life. And down the back.
Моя мозг.
Stimulation to get it touched. Really matters to do it. Massage selfies for all pastimes. I do extras too. See you on the back of the son of the people. Let's take some. Need and all that nice life. That eagle just crashed without anyone else involved. Case in point. Miles Hand said follow the van and don't dilly dally on the way. He said don't dilly dally, don't. Well, that went well. Fishing in the gallery. All by myself, on board now, with HMS Drive-In and Rampage. Thanks to that tiny telescope attached to the bonnet, it used the vision of a British Navy's crew as unique sonar to detect movement, which is totally unnecessary. When you've got idiots like this spinning about right in front of the ship in plain sight, dive, dive, dive. Here we have all the right conditions for the perfect all-by-myself car crash. Dark night? Check. Slippery road? Check. Rubbish video? Check. 20 degrees spin by out-of-control Range Rover? Check. And of course a couple of stink-attended bystanders to make sure everyone is okay. There we are, this year's Eurovision parking tournament, and the star is born. It's pens all round for the judges. Apart from Macedonia and Serbia, they all lost. What is that? Ice Ice Baby. No, not the iconic 1940s tune by my favorite rapper, Vanilla Ice, but the name of our next selection fits. Yes, these next guys will present their act, and its name is... I think this guy, to me, is no Bravo game back. Oh, nice driving. Not very sure. Yeah, that's one to be honest. 40 strikes over the other. Not that bit. So, without further ado, here's Ice Ice Baby. Ice is only one of the many options that winter brings. Promising you snow, wind, opposites, weird ghosts on the road surface, and absolute idiot drivers. Like this fellow here. I know what you're thinking. He performed the perfect taking the meter. Give the fella a break. And if you were thinking that, you obviously never...
Все?
Here's one for you.
Это последний.
What goes black, white, bang? This next clip. Black car, white car, black car. Two nuts in a bar. Here we are in stunning Chernobyl, where house prices are surprisingly reasonable. You can buy that factory on the right for £7.50. It's the juice pop inside. In fact, the local owners are so keen to get the better food, they're willing to just let you take your home wherever you please. These fellas have the right idea with this spot, close to transport links, a short walk to local amenities, and convenient parking options. They've certainly got a canny eye for a bargain. That's it, lads. Get a move on and stake your claim before someone else spots this place and consumpts you. Last one to correctly assemble a fat tackle case is getting the drinks in. In treacherous conditions, it's important for drivers to look out for one another, like this young lady using her car to help this fellow find the multi-story.
Yeah.
And finally, in Sweden, where long drives and country roads can be monotonous and bleak, local radio stations have laid on some wacky racer-style entertainment to keep things fresh. It's working for me.
Still to come on Car Crash TV, we dish out some justice to a jaywalker.
Start 18 минут. Вот, блин.
Hit or miss. But first,
Вот, блин, не успели с тобой.
in high season. And these two
Всех походов.
decided to hire a couple of dirt bikes to help them navigate the island, bouncing from club to club in an all-day and all-night rave binge. However, burning the candle at both ends might well come at a price. So, my friends, can you guess what happens next? It's a really good one. Welcome back to Car Crash TV. So did you guess what happens next? Well, our two revelers are making a short journey from Pasha to Amnesia. Apparently these are nightclubs, and have decided to liven up a short commute by trying out a couple of stunts. There's the bunny hop. Good idea. Try a wheelie next. What could possibly go wrong? Yep. Everything. How are you going to throw shapes on the dance floor now you've got a lip? You really didn't think this through, did you? Today. There is one category of road user who is more susceptible to an accident than any other. A complete idiot. No, seriously. It's not lorries, it's not that.
Идиот, идиот. О, идиот.
Every fiber of my beaver. These are the pesky pedestrians. Look at this driver, pulling a perfectly acceptable U-turn, then from out of nowhere, this absolute numpty practically throws himself in front of his car.
Идиот.
Pedestrian, be aware that drivers can do anything they want. Trying to cross a zebra crossing? What do you think? Anyone would think from the way you behave as the highway code was a book drivers were supposed to actually follow. When trying to create a famous Beatles album cover, it's important to pick a long, winding road.
Whoa.
Came out of nowhere. Get back, guys, and call for help. Maybe you can't drive my car. Look, I've had it with these scripts. Can you get my name to the phone now? Just because there's a clear pedestrian crossing sign doesn't mean the traffic has to stop. Control your child. Put a bell on it or something. Look at this fella, speeding sensibly through a built-up area. How dare that woman run across the road nervously trying to avoid him? Of course he has every right to swerve towards her. She's fine, everyone. Walk on. Nothing to see here. Need the do. Why not jog along a dark winter highway? Public convenience. Fine.
Get us road! Careful!
A clear crossing sign. How dare this clown see that as any indication he's
Oh! Be careful! Oh! You what?
in his place. No, don't off him yet. Let him sit there and think about what he's done. This is the worst. She's going by another one. A white man, he'll sort this out. Wait, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Give them the gentleman up they deserve. Right.
Oh, uh-oh.
On this show, you tend to see a lot of cars hitting things.
You what?
It's a mini chances are that 50 yards watching culminates in a collision. In an attempt to redress the balance and give her you would be a break. We created this fun little game in which you might get your red cafe, see an imminent car crash, miraculously not stop the car. And to play, it's or miss. Using starting with 3% express, normal speed. Everyone wants to stop for a glass of wine and a baguette. So is that piece of trailer trash going to hit the car in front? The car to the right? Or will he hold his nerve and strike his calm mind by missing completely? It's a miss! All hail the car crash TV god. Today he just smells trailer trash. It can be a cruel god too, though, so I don't hold out too much hope for this mopeder as he moves along the back street to every 2-star holiday resort you've ever stayed in. This doesn't go well, but when our local police hit the back of the taxi, the tarmac, all this completely. Surely this good fortune can't continue, and from the look of this deputy, we're getting back in the last one. The car driver hits this big old hunk of bastard. A swerve and inspect this delightful section of Mercury, or snaps hard on the brakes and miss again. Sounds like a fun one to me. I don't want to pretend. But we are utterly on track to the getting first. But it's cage-free. The champion is palpable. No thanks to this work. He's just the light. The whole house appears unlikely. So are we going to hit the light jumper? Hit the innocent bystander? Or hit the jackpot and miss completely? But on the plus side, this guy's camera will arrive on a bungee jump and swings and roundabouts, eh? Thanks, Meg friends. See you next time for more Hit or Miss. Injunctions. No, I'm not talking about that going to give it to that hotel in Reading. I'm talking about focusing on learning gaps rather than driving into traffic lights. Injunctions. No, I'm not talking about my unfortunate midnight encounter at the mandatory services that the newspapers can't mention. I'm talking about waiting for a break in the traffic before turning. No, injunctions. Motorists should bloody well pay attention to oncoming traffic. If you've been getting your Tinder on by swiping left, please remember not to translate this behavior to the road. You may get a costly affair bill rather than a date. Much less desirable. Biscuit. It's doing well. Biscuit. He's definitely seen me. We're going to be fine. Look, if you can't be bothered to try and drive in a straight line, then I'm not going to be bothered to try and educate you. else has done it too. I hope you're all paying attention now, as here is a great example of what moves your ever encouraging impact on the roads. That's it. Stop. Check all passengers around arms, wait for a woman in Merle's anorak to approach, and then drive off like nothing ever happened. Perfectly executed, people. Well done. Welcome to Hollywood. Sunset Boulevard. A wonderful sunny day. The glamour of high-end automobiles and desirable real estate. When I use the car, I never go for the obvious phallic symbolisms unless actually unique around fashion. Instead, I focus on premium locations and existing new vehicle. Oh, for God's sake. Bring in the backup. Reset. Take two. Oh, sepia. Nice filter. I'll Instagram that. Sexy boobs, baby. And go. I will win. I will win. I will. It's in the bag. Oh, no. Weather junction. Do the sensible thing. Trust the traffic lights and wait for the builder. However, you be mindful of idiots like this. Never learn that green means go. Beautiful day, world-class view. However, sadly, someone is about to ruin the scene of tranquility. It's over to my co-commentator, Randy Browder, for some in-depth analysis. Randy.
Thanks, Dave. Well, as this white SUV isn't really involved in the action, you can discount it, which leaves us with three vehicles with the potential to cause harm.
Jest, говорят.
They're moving too slowly to be considered, so we are left with this pair.
Now, 3 days of black cars only undertake direct violation of the rules of the road. So he has to be penalized. It's simple stuff that they run the action now. But we'll be listening exactly what I'm talking about. And he's got to sleep with the absolute stinker. In the road time, please undertake the 3-point turn. Right, you may have just nudged the curve. Now, if you just slip it into reverse, whenever you're ready, no rush. Rejoin the main carriageway. In your own time. That's the one. The test is tomorrow. You have an excellent chance to pass. Every day, more and more road users are filming their journeys. Mounted cameras are constantly recording our behavior on the road. From the bazaar to the ridiculous. You're going to sound like dangerous. Every mishap you can think things like finger of blade. And of course, there's nothing like seeing other people's mistakes. Helping us regular drivers. Yes, that's all the history show. Motorcyclists, you should be aware of what is behind and beside before maneuvering. After 176, you must not move forward over the white line when the red light is showing. However, always making sure to accelerate to maximize grip. From mountain and the water, my guys is very free to control. Get very sure you have contact with the water to get up one. All the best things in life come in twos. Comedy double act, songs, vibes, and of course wheels. Yes, we can take another look at the mad and unwanted motorcyclists who are getting
with all sorts of springs. This is two-wheel barrows. How many bikers can you fit side by side before somebody gets stunted off the road? Focus on the guy in turquoise currently riding on his own. Now there are three of them. Just the white car to make things interesting. The biker in white makes four. And that's just too many. Now look at this man, though. Let's watch him again. You do like to say it's good practice. Notice how the TV film on this scene makes the world seem more romantic. That light is already fallen head over heels with love. Hang on a minute. What would even tell me to go that way in the first place? That is literally the clearest sign I've ever seen. You total Instagram sepia filter over. You know what? This clip sums up everything that's wrong with the millennials and your kids. Why do people think it's acceptable to go out into the public wearing different jumpers? Bring back actual service, I say. Sometimes when you're on motorbike, even the very idea of big days enough to knock you off either that car has a Star Trek force field or that biker has a nervous in a polar bear. This is a hit Asian version of Eddie Stobart's Truckers and Trailers. Anyway, this local lollipop man will master everything about road safety, except that minor bit about watching the traffic before letting people cross the road. All right, stroll not neutral. Oh, sorry. My third contender is Travis Jones. Breaking eyes. Awesome. Milk it, dude. Anyone see my phone? Okay, folks. This is a winner. You just don't think it crashed at the so hard. I'd like to thank God. I'd like to thank everyone in the studio, my agent, my manager. There are many great unsolved mysteries. Where is Paul Newton? Who shot JFK? Why does my wife have two mobile phones? These puzzles will always remain distant and out of reach, much like my wife. But there are plenty of cases that, with your help,
Последняя ставка.
yes, join me once more and
Ура.
another road traffic accident teaser. This is Vaccine Investigation. And it appears we stumbled upon a cold case, and judging by the quality of the footage, this is done at some point in 2080. The best tolerance for that to the journalists. Drinking caps on, people. Who here is the guilty party? Is it A, the ambulance, B, the car slammed into next to it, or C, the car they're traveling in? Time to reveal all. Well, that's the iron sticking out. There should have been a warning. The light might be green, but this is an emergency, man. And in this sort of situation, you should be giving way. Yes, car C is at fault. Look, listen, and don't be such a punk. Every day, millions of people around the world get in their cars and head off on their very own adventures to exotic places like Tahiti, Hawaii, and Venice. None of which ever feature as locations on this depressing show, which only features rubbish dump towns whose only claim to fame is the world's Photographers told that from Africa. Oh, you, desert of magic mushrooms. Anyone fancy a drink? Springboard into the crystal line to me. Oh, for God's sake, enough of the this is collateral damage. Red arrows trading is being done on a budget these days, but you can see how they're still really nailing that bit when they all start. It's a rough down there. Maybe not good when you're guiding to the side. Please like and get over the surface. So simple tasks like knocking down an old telephone pole will be much more fun if you can car. Allow me to pull over and congratulate you, sir, on a job well done. Could you also steal my broadband? Here's a weird one for your safety geeks. He goes 10 mph max, then he stops. Then he brings it up. Knock his bonnet up and down again, hits the side and brings it down on top of it. What is the white car? What is someone behind you? What is the bonnet? Going down. Does he just hate signposts? I can't work it out. Cannot compute. Cannot compute. So, you join us for the final of the most boring clip of the year award. The crowd are full of expectation. This is the big one. And the winner is the minus kid. Oh, darling, I'm responsible for tasting things all of Luton. I want to be energy to get to the end of this moment. Now, shut up and get off. Traffic lights. They play the same tune day in, day out, don't they? Red stop, green go, red stop, green go. This fella's a winner. Stop telling us what to do. Let's stop and see. Coming up later on Hard TV, we'll play another exhilarating edition of the Playing Game. Take a break from the rat race and head out into the sun and strap in for Play Rider Star Indifference. But first, where in the world are we, I wonder? I don't care. On the panel show, this will be the action to play and guess what water next.
Заправляешь, как хочешь.
Welcome back to Starcraft TV. So what is happening next? When the laboratory takes up for the intensive music, unfortunately, no other less village. Happily, every year this picturesque town stages a faithful reenactment. I think it's better than we ever caravan. Now, playing the carol with a arrow in the eye. No, if you will go down to the woods today, follow the big surprise. Not just about rear-ending people in country car parks. Look, the case was dropped for lack of evidence. They never proved I was there. Yes, if you drive over the nonsense. And even if you see trouble from a mile off, it may be hard to avoid the inevitable crash. Yes, those places get everywhere. There's no escape from them out in the sticks. Windscreen wipers? Why bother? There's nothing to see in the country apart from endless queues of pensioners getting dashboard picnics. What's wrong with me? You're stuck. No, sorry. I shouldn't be so mean about pensioners. I just think everyone.
Ну, тут слышишь, тут слышишь.
Так, тут он уже трезвый. Наверное, все-таки кого-то убьет по-любому. Он, наверное, убьет его. Он либо будет слишком хорошо сражаться и убьет его, да, правильно? Нет? Берегись, она входит. И победитель. Что? Сейчас буду продолжать. Ты смелый, но глупый. Это плохо для тебя кончится. Сдавайся.
Ну, это, один.
Да ё-моё, зачем? Тут же говно было как. Ну толкни его просто, ну чё ты, не убивай. Видно же, что типа. Ты что делать? Просто убьешь? Да, что это за бред? Этот гефект окончен. Ты победил. Ты благородно действовал, мастер Менка. Вмешиваться в поединок против правил. И ничего не остается. Я должен исключить тебя из турнира. Блин. Ну, так неинтересно.
Не. Чуть-чуть. Последний,
Эх, как? Осталось ему знатно, но до свадьбы заживет. Я сперва решил со священником послать, но у него дальше больше, чем ума. Чё? Добрые вести, клянусь, глаз не задел. А плохие такой удар по голове может больших бед наделать. Надеюсь, вскоре зрение к нему возвратится, но руку на отсечение не дам. По моему опыту в таких делах все в руках Господа. Я вас все распрекрасил. У тебя есть Кутенберг лучший лекарь, вы его звать, а за все платить. Я лучший доктор. У тебя ли мастер Меркер? Мы тут за ним пошлем. Мне жаль, что дело приняло столь печальный оборот. Я буду молиться за здоровье твоего товарища. Как так поединки? Да, я пришел, чтобы это выяснить. Из-за ранения Арна ваше братство теряет право на дальнейшие поединки. Ну а почему мы не можем продолжить, да? Ну пусть он лежит тут, мы вдвоем, нет? А не получится? Я не понимаю, что значит давайте сложить. Мы продолжим, это значит вот этого по башке стукнутого нужно поднимать и опять тащить в бой, или, блин, ну, спасибо огромнейшее за пятихаточку, благодарю тебя от всей души, 8 канал, допустил, сорян. Спасибо большое. Давайте сложим оружие, это типа хорошо, не надо воевать сейчас, потому что пацан и так уже помрет. Лучше продолжить? Тебе расскажут. Арно дело говорит. Мы с Меркельдом можем продолжить. Я хочу биться с Николаусом. Понимаю твое желание, Менкарт, но исполнить никак не можно. Вы выбрали. Я буду биться с Николаусом. Ты будешь уходить с дороги, Финдуш. Предупреждаю, Менкарт. Вы все клялись уважать результаты поединков. Послушай, Миколаш победил Арне, а Арне не может дальше биться, так что 3 победы за кудногорцами. Ого. Менкарт, ты победил Ибрама и Лингарта, но не можешь биться с Миколашем. Значит, 1 победа за тобой, 1 за Кутногором. Из вас 3 только Индерджи еще может сражаться. Он уже одолел Лингарта. У кудногорцев побед 4 против ваших 3, и еще 2 поединка впереди. Погоди, Фридуш. Арно еще может биться, но точно проиграет, так что 2 победы по праву за кудногорцами. Но вот Меркер сразится тут твое решение мешает. В остальном он готов и полный сил. Это есть правда. Мы клялись уважать результаты поединков. Но ведь боя между Меркером и Миколашем не было, значит, присудания. Выходит, ни одна сторона не победила. Мудрые слова, должен признать. Я понял, что у обеих сторон по 3 победы, а у меня 2 поединка в запасе. А моя мысль — это правильно и честно. Как там и быть? Значит, если даже одолеет Имрама и Миколаша, победа за вами. Теперь за нас. Франдрик, наша победа и честь судьба в твоих руках. Спасибо большое. Я вас не подведу. Слово даю. Хорошо сказано. Я буду ждать тебя на ресталище. Выйдешь против Имрама. Поспеши. Пойти уже трудно ждать начала боя. Эмоциональный зал не может было сражаться. По всему все 3 победы за Кутногорой. Французские жатва в 3 боях победители, но и без
Besides, there are so many crashes every day that the cars are designed to be completely impregnable. This grey hatchback was totally unscathed by being rear-ended. If only I could have said the same after the office team bonding week of the Lake District. When driving through the country, you can so often be overwhelmed by the sheer majesty of the scenery. At such moments, it's best just to pull over, relax, and admire the views. Well done, sir. Did you bring your water pouch? Would someone get the producer in here? Look at that picture. I can't work with this material. I used to be in proper TV shows, you know. That camera is as high definition as a bout of Turkish norovirus. If you read my contract, section 9.3, clearly states the artist will work with first-class material and will not be required to voice over any dodgy footage that looks like a constructed with manure-powered ski goggles. I've just about had it. Get my agent on the phone. To make things more interesting on country drives, I like to carry my own grid with me. It means that when I come across rural scenes, like the local Dukes of Hazzard Recreation Club, I can sit back in the shade and take in the action.
Телеграм?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the National Norwegian Choreographed Truck Dipping Contest. A strong start, 22 points for them. And here's an entry from the Oslo Dietz, and he's targeting a truck that has almost maximum points. He's done it, putting him through to the finals. However, this entrant has no chance. You can't progress in this competition by parking in front of a truck. Why the hell is the truck not stopping? He's got a car strapped to his front bumper. A clear breach of the competition rules. But a perfect example of the big risks on big rigs. Competitors ready.
I know what you're thinking. What do you get the big rig driver who has everything? That's right, 2 skips. This fella's pleased as punch with his gift and wants to do a marketing campaign. The best viral marketing always involves sharing your content with the users. Well done, sir. You must be a hip millennial. A sunny day on the road to Amityville, and look, a phantom white Audi haunting a real one. But what will the hand of fate dig out on this spooky stretch of tarmac? Nothing for the first truck. Or the second. A powerful poltergeist burst forth from the third. Well, we are on Route 666. Big rigs might look scary, but most are just giant teddy bears aiming for affection, who love nothing more than a good cuddle, like this one. He certainly took a shine to that little fella. Give him a squeeze. Oh, look, he's flashing in acceptance. Get a room, chaps. We're not making important deliveries or crushing cars. The big rig can be useful for landscape gardening projects.
Нарядился.
GMB 50YS. So that stands for something. Oh yes, give my bumper 50 yards of space. Should probably have written it on the license as well, though. There's been a dramatic alien asteroid attack, and everyone's driving to the scene. Slow down, chaps. They might not come in peace. Never mind Independence Day. Get on the wrong side of a big rig, and things will get pretty Jurassic Park. Stay still, everyone. Their vision is based on movement. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his... Wait, is that a corpse? Forget Pat, we need PC Selby and Mrs. Goggins. Road US of A, the musical equivalent of newspaper agony art, and they punctuated the sandwich by creating words like yo and dang and vomit from the one big thing to come up with. Stop car racing. For detail fans, I have the full rule here. It says a bunch of fellas drive cars around in circles and usually collide. That's the rules. Sounds good to me. This is Stop Car Collisions. Okay, folks, here we go. We're on board the 4-time stock car champion and All-American Butch Rubin.
Nice.
Butch has been around this scene since he was a young boy, and that experience is going to come in handy as he attempts to take on the really hard part of the track, the bit where it turns to the left. As you can see, we're in a safe hands here, Butch. It looks like I spoke too soon. A rare error from Butch there, but a decent score all in all with 19 seconds. Our next driver is rookie Dolores Midgewater. Dolores only holds provisional driving license as she's failed to test 6 times. That seems to be for an unlucky number, as she manages just 6 seconds. Extra points for smashing both sides, though. I'll see you later at the Sunset Lodge, Dolores, room 16 for your motion. Antoine Big Rig Nielsen is our next driver. He's been wielding his hefty Schwann her around the tracks for the past 18 years, but he's yet to get the podium. And another night of disappointment ahead as 8 seconds is just not good enough. A relative newcomer in the world of stock car racing now, we're following Ricardo Martinez from Tijuana, Mexico. A free spirit, talented sportsman, and expert guitar strummer. When Ricardo's not catching wins, you can find him strumming his instrument for the ladies on the beach. It's a solid run so far.
Я уже понял.
And in 20 seconds, it's a pitch-perfect effort. Boy, Chip McMatthews is up next. No stranger to controversy, this is Chip's first race back after a 6-race Salt Lake City suspension for punching an official. It's a disappointing return to the track for Chip, as he only manages a mere 16 seconds. Rising star of the stock car world, Luella Bell Studebaker looks like she was born to race cars in a circle. Just because she's got a problem with the balance. That did not work to her advantage with a shabby score of 7 seconds. It's a phenomenal start for veteran Brad Loganhammer as he sails out in front of the psychotropic influence of hallucinogenic moonshine. It's the only driver in the road is making a spin. In fact, that was Randy Rogan coming in his rear. A dirty trick there from the Texan. Let's hope Brad was too stoned to notice. Our final competitor today is Homer Kaufman. Homer has to keep his wits about it, as that road is slicker than a rattlesnake in a tanning salon. And there he goes. He spun out. Stayed on the road, though. Gotta give him that. A score of 12 seconds is just not good enough. So, our winner today is the newcomer, Martinez. See you next time for more Stock Car Collisions. If we then we might have won. Were the lyrics to the classic 2002 song like Travis. It's also good advice for all you drivers out there. Yes, drivers, here's a tip. In certain situations, it can make sense to turn. So let's take a look at this next one. Drivers learning some hard lessons as they either do or don't. Turn.
И мой подмышка.
This driver's major obsession with chicken pan pie causes a
You might want to think about giving up the engine and driving.
Надо голова.
Could end up everywhere now. Sometimes fairly confused this next driver. He's just seen that petrol prices are changing at over 40 times a second. This is a crafty town that not only the roads but also the buildings to these individual signs with the right seaters. That's okay if you connect seaters, but to everyone else, this municipality is a different like dangerous. They want people to take a car. Yo, I'm running again with the water show the car. Freddie doesn't sound that sweet, baby. We are more than But on board the helmet of a motorcyclist who wants to go straight at the roundabout with the red cars in the wrong way, so they are definitely off power. One, indicated roundabout. Two, always assume everyone else on the roundabout is taking their Facebook stickers. Three, helmet reflected again. And finally, what happens when an already passing damaged car crashes into a devastating junction? Yes, like in the silent movie, the taxi driver jumps out of his car and demonstrates to the offender who flees the scene. Now let's walk around the daytime junction. Don't take the people in the high road and bust out. That kind of thing is insane. It's so too late. It's trying to do other than to take the game. So the pointy fingers at the ready. It's time to make red lights in the morning means a car first warning. When it's 2 cars driving through a green light at this intersection.
Сейчас, 5.
Flame! Coming from the left, who was turning and stood giving way to oncoming traffic. That's someone called popular cartoon mouse Jerry, who left his feet to the side of the road. That's not our problem, this is.
So, who should vote? The car will be under it, or the one heading towards us? Yes, still with the car. I know you're in a hurry. There's no reason to try and look up to them. Get out of your car. Come over here. I'm tired now. One of us in the car is back because of our lane. Into Stokes, the car we're in, for the silver car is heading for a game of Johnson's. Well, if we wind back ever so slightly, 3 very clear green lights tell us one thing, my friend. You could do the surfer without his deck and should have given way. And finally, the car we're in is moving along. You think you're going to it's another school of cars. No awards for guessing what happens next. But who's to bully him for pulling out into traffic when it was not safe to do so? And for being in a group of cars to start with, but also to tell every day, more and more little users are filming their journeys. It's their often end in something else. My motorist is also a video on the floors mounted cameras that are constantly recording our behavior on the road. From the bizarre to the ridiculous, the funny, to the downright dangerous. Thousands and thousands of dash cams around the world have captured every mishap you can think of. Now we're going to delve into the treasure trove of stupidity on the road. Things like the action to see what really happened. And then, of course, there's nothing like seeing other people's mistakes when it comes to helping us figure out it. There's a driver who is something to remember, but all the tips, yes, that's all the tips we show. No one is in it behind. The guy says it. Everyone in this someone got their more diving on the roads of the world that are possibly driven, but it resulted in the confidential of the Great British Highway Code. Article 168 says the driver is trying to maintain a steady course and speed. If necessary, to let the vehicle pass. Article 131, driving speedily carefully when the road is tightening and avoid sudden accidents as he is, of course, not under control. One of our always taking from nature on pedestrian crossings. Clearly made to be breakfasting. And from chapter 7 of My Guide to Dating, Somebody Please Love Me, always make the first move. My sixth again, Southcat TV headquarters are highly devoted to road safety education and complacency after our many awards for public service. But our devotion remains intact. As long as foolhardy road users continue to drive themselves through all sorts of troubles, we will be here, resolutely offering helpful tips to the rest of you. So here, despite our best advice and guidance,
Whoa.
some individuals who flagrantly ignored all of our hard work, the irresponsible skippers. It would be so easy for me right now to make a joke about skid marks, but this isn't a currently award-winning show for nothing, and I'm better than lowering myself into that kind of cheap, obvious observation. Skid marks. As Torval and Dean creep towards their senior years, they've taken to practicing their famed Bolero routine in separate hatchbacks, each with the heating on full and Ken Bruce on the radio. Fair play to them. They've still got it. 9.3 on me. Rubber windscreen wipers again. They're not fit for purpose.
Another.
Practice is to replace your wiper blades every 15 years. Personally, I think that's overkill. Every safety gone mad. First up the Technic, the home of the retired Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. In his later years, poor senile old Obi-Wan could often be found wandering the planet aimlessly. How was senile really do? But the horse is still with him. Skid marks? This toilet repairman fits us in under to the windscreen of the 999 emergency outcome. It works, but the gas stinks. And finally, I think it's only fair that the end segment entitled Skidders with a clip that entails someone speeding. But who will it be? car. In fact, the car they're on board with, that bus. No, it's the car you didn't even know was there. Nice movie filter though. What is it, your Snapchat story? Welcome to Bolton One and All for another thrilling installment of the Traffic Light Game. For those of you new to the show, the rules are easy. We show you the build-ups to a good old-fashioned road traffic accident, and then when things are about to go a little bit pear-shaped, we freeze the action and give you the chance to guess how the crash will pan out. Will red, a boring collision, amber, a tiny insignificant thing, or a green, a tantalising near miss. Let's run that one. True for all parties. Paris in the spring. Is there a more romantic silent place? Get to another fine evening and on to the swing home. Whether of his team and our hero in red, amber, or green. Moreover, the police got a gentle nudge into oncoming traffic off the floor. If I catch anyone bringing chips in from outside, it's simply bad. Next, I'm looking by that your section of people marching towards it. The Saturn is an enticing retail experience, and the lure of Saturn looks destined to distract the saloon car here. But at what cost? Red, amber, or green? Amber again. Looks like it's Saturn, see what all the fuss is about. Just off M6 Johnson, to the railroad.
Видите, хват. Видите, хват.
But we never know the going to cause an accident of the red, amber, or green variety. And the attention of pattern. No, we don't do Jaeger bombs. This is a pub. It's not a tropical inside door. Right, let's roll the dice one last time. But wait, isn't this the clip we just saw? It looks extremely familiar. Surely we're not about to get the answer. This direction as our hero swerves in the nick of time. Seems green.
Видите, хват.
Congratulations, my friend. Here's to your Roll Flames bonus ahead of the time. Well, that's all, brother. Promise to get next time. So another edition of the Digital Game. So every voice of different back on the line. You guys get the There's nothing more annoying when you're going about your daily business than getting a total stranger up in that side. But that themselves become a total notion into the less said about Spanish culture, the better. Meanwhile, a lot of the drivers in the next six will also be thinking, why do that? Because we've collected a set of rear-ending pockets behind them. Very quickly, if I may say so. It's behind you! On the set of Fast and Furious 10 now, and in an effort to keep the storylines fresh, the writers have given Vin Diesel's character Donnie
Видите, хват.
addiction to recycling. Here he is in a race against time. He knows empty drinks, but little does he know, it's green bin, not brown. Dominic, how will it end? Find out in cinemas this summer. Stop the car before answering. That's when the driver of this right hand disaster averted. Drivers back to the the backside. Wonderful emergency stop, my friend. I know what you're thinking. This driver is going to hit that motorcycle from behind. Well, no. You're wrong. We're not that difficult. It's just slowing down at the sheer amazement of how small the biker's passenger is. Look at it. He's tiny. I mean, of course, someone was going to get hit from behind. Closing the title.
Видите, хват. Видите, хват. Видите, хват.
Sometimes sheer ordinariness of the situation makes it impossible for the crash to occur. So I told this idiot what's his name on his phone and just wanted to cancel his phone contract. Enter the Dragon was a kung fu franchise in the making until the untimely death of Bruce Lee. He determined that he came up with creative ways to bring the Dragon back. This will be a
What?
hit. Spice up your boring commute with a bit of emergency stop roulette. And stop.
Кристалл. Там еще осталось. Края большой.
Spurious link can be come up with between a minor prank and the exotic world of ballroom dancing.
absolutely nothing, you say, and you'd be right. I'm sorry, wrong. That shimmy a car makes when spinning out of control across the asphalt echoes the wriggle of a dancer across the shiny floor. We've taken that hit
Вот это
and turned it into a hit TV format. So voting panels at the ready, amigos. It's time for...
соединить с другой сковородкой.
We start with a solo number. That's Swim of Lips, followed by the line. If I'm not mistaken, this is Rumba, a sensual dance combined with the extent of pulse racing. Frankly, this attempt is doing nothing to me. Charge up the defibrillated doll. There's no life for this routine. Here's the kind of punchy start to a routine I love. Great synchronization as they attack the dance floor. But it's taken this performance into the crowd. What a shame. I can only give that a 4. This is one hell of a once clean and elegant, like a bonskin and dancing across her neck. And look at finish thinking laugh to the judges. The young Frenchman simply exudes confidence and rightly so. I love a dance with that affair. Now the use of dry ice here to let the passenger some gravitas is a delicious touch, but this is the case of stuff.
Все, статуя какой-то. А? Какие края. Я большие платформы. Заморгал.
Make you take stock, reassess the choices you've made in life, and thank a higher power that you dodged a bullet before it's
Где? Это все, отмыло. Это сложно было. Это долго было. Малые платформы.
Given a boost with a nerve-shredding game of automotive peekaboo. Please check instructions for details and consult your medical practitioner before taking any medicine. Watching car crashes might cause migraines, exhaustion, leakage, spots, rashes, constipation, diarrhea, vomiting, and hives. Do not take if you're prone to headaches. Sunset in Hawaii, palm trees, a cocktail. Is there any greater sight on earth? Of course, that's what we would be saying if we weren't looking at another European idiot on some depressing highway to nowhere, nearly slamming into an innocent commuter. Hawaii 5-0, it's not, you horrible hatchback. Sometimes the near miss is such a near miss that you don't even realize you've dodged a hidden cloudburst. Let's see that again. Yes, there's a massive tire bouncing towards this car at 50 miles an hour out of the smoke on the other side of the road. Great reactions. Here's an example of what happens when two idiots decide to overtake at the same time next to a garden centre of bonsai Christmas trees. A near miss for the innocent bystander who's just minding his business and driving along. They do say that the epitome of kindness is helping a little old lady across the road. And driving at her.
Если на ютубе, да, я это нормально.
Keep on opening fit, I say. You're as young as the speed you can run at. That's community spirit at its finest. So we got an easy drive down the road. It was so different when you almost fell foul of the obstacle. That remember the action. Every day was just slowed to the trees and oncoming 30 miles an hour traffic. Should be something better from you. Still to come on Car Crash TV, we uncover some of the more cultural car crashes in the art of the automobile. And come to the aid of a vehicle crippled by the discomfort of trapped wind. But first it's time for me to rest my dadding
Это волн.
minutes. To keep you busy, I have a question for you to consider. A number of the cars up ahead appear to be braking. So can you work out what happens next? It's certainly not pedestrian.
Все малые. Скамейка мала платформа.
Did you work out what happens next? Well, this stretch of motorway was built right in the path of old Derek's route back from the pub to his two up, two down. He's walked this route for 72 years and he'll be damned if he's going to find a new one. The traffic will just have to work around him. And in fairness, it just about does. Derek, I'll have a pint of stout, a pickled egg and some pork scratchings. Fish and chips, tea and biscuits, reality TV and Botox. Some things just go together perfectly. But none of these go together quite as perfectly as bad weather and idiotic drivers.
What?
Nothing turns the air quite as frosty as a weather-based faux pas. There's no getting away from it. Sorry about those weather puns. I think I better rein them in before the boss gets the wind of my antics. Seriously though.
Лицо, скульптуры.
Morning dew? Here's some weather wallies.
Ну,
As a perennial sufferer of cramped wind myself, I know there are few things that will get the old digestive system back on track better than a long drive in a good downpour. There we go. That'll do it. Don't be shy. Better out than in. He'll be a little light on his feet after that. What a wonderful time of year.
Тяжкая ремня.
Leaves have fallen from the trees. It's almost time for Christmas. And old men are out and about, risking life and limb trying to help confused hedgehogs across the road. Life is better. Nature's guardian right there, ladies and gentlemen. Hang on. That's not a hedgehog. It's a hat.
Секси скульптуры Блокин.
At least I hope it's a hat. Otherwise, that's a man and a hedgehog's day ruined. These two black hatchbacks hooked up on Grindr. But the beige want to turn this meeting into a menage a trois. The locals aren't happy, though, and are quick to show their disapproval. They prefer more traditional dating practices. The summer solstice is best viewed at megalithic Stonehenge, rather than on this out-of-town jewel carriageway.
Таких маленьких, таких два. А вот этот.
This is a set of traffic lights on a busy dual carriageway. They say that when a crack in a windscreen is longer than a centimeter, you should replace it. So
What?
the driver of that car was probably Irish.
Табличка у скульптуры Кристалл.
And those guys are Irish too. They're going to do a river dance. Move over to Michael's black leg. It's every World War II shoot-em-up game you've ever played. Shoot that car. You're running low on health there, mate. If you're going to go, go with conviction. Otherwise, really, what's the point? Hello? Oh, hi, Dave. How are you? How was Tenerife? Both of you know.
Табличка. А, Кристалл. А, у этой.
Would you get to a certain age? Yeah, we'd love to. When are you thinking? Oh, hang on a second. Just need to. Ah, that's better. Yes, see you Friday. How many couples are coming? Get that sauna fired up. Heavy snow. Check. Ice on the road. Check. Lorry impeding progress. Check.
А, вот это.
Phone number for decent building mechanic, fine maker, Galvan chiropractor. Check.
Секси скульптуры.
Swipe left if you like art.
Секси скульптуры Кристалл.
It's a beautiful landscape, sheer depth, color combination, the spatter of the Jackson Pollock, the imagined relief of crossing a Dutch landscape. It's the art of the automobile.
Секси скульптуры Кристалл.
Witness the contrast of
А, я это знаю, где внизу.
follow the black car, a journey to the countryside, touch the white car, and you find salvation. Style
Секси... А, волна. Тут.
and early Goya. See how the artist uses
£12 million, gone to the man in the VW
priceless flower. At the center of the world, the right art suggests circular wheels of thought, resolved only when the artist cleverly spins on perspective or
gone to the man who runs that poster. It's so known as the specialist section in the basement. I'll see you after work, Tim. Be there about 6:30.
sculpture by and a wonderful piece from the Hungarian Jakob Gutmann. Usually crash, a clear metaphor for nature's need to be respected, loved, and
Последняя осталась.
I have a bidder on the phone. No, it's not just a bit of old dodgy dash cam footage. It's the best way to launder your Colombian
Почти все.
£120,000 to our bidder on the phone.
Dutch landscapes now, and with this
Последняя где-то.
the color detail is truly mesmerizing. As the lead of the actors in the drama were coming to life in three dimensions.
Ну,
Sale. I I'm keeping that.
Another reveal.
Sure.
Recognizable by the use of the stick figures bustling to and fro. This place is a total obviously Burnley looks even worse now. It's got one of those discount supermarkets.
So, to that hideous man at the front, go and put that in your Bentley. Take it
Mica
back to
Kaius.
the Tudor-Beaton mansion. Look,
И
dog.
человек не пройдет.
A chain reaction is what we call it.
No se to.
Concepts on the side of a completely unexpected reaction. For example, you might accidentally send a text message meant for an old girlfriend to your wife's best friend. You then might bump into your wife in Pilates class in Greenwich and tell her all about the text message. Before you know it, you're black eyed and you're spending weeks on your mate's sofa. That was obviously a made-up example for illustration purposes only. Sheila, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean to send a message. Please, can I go home? Please, someone for me for nothing to me. She was just someone at the office. Anyway, chain reactions, go. First up, an Android story giving us the unenviable choice of
Залезь на...
into oncoming traffic or right over a massive cliff. I'll be honest.
Оп, 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 оп. Опа. А-а.
Somewhat made with a different format, the kind of a stranger's. The
Все.
name of this bridge is written on the right. It says Bridge of Total Irresponsible Buffoons. Want to know why? This is why. Also, why would you keep a big black cartoon
Все.
on your dashboard? Now, there's three strange things going on in this picture. A man walking
That's
about
Muta.
the central reservation. A car driving down the grass. A turtle, or is it a terrapin on the dash? How the hell did it come to that? Well, there's the terrapin. That's why this guy ended up on the grass. Where the hell did he come from? I'm none the wiser, but it's definitely
Тоже.
a terrapin. Also,
Тоже.
no one ever speaks
Не
about
знаю.
the accident on the show.
Было.
Dodgy levers.
Было.
It's extremely hard to make a living if you run a fast food delivery service in a town with utterly weird clouds. Is that a nimbus or a
Ну, это
cumulonimbus?
был.
Why is a white cloud a bit blue? None of the
Два
deliveries ever get there, and that 50 minutes or less promise means
Не вот это, и вот это, и вот это. Нет. Трое, три. Что? Алиса не
Did you ever worry that the restaurant name Ross was just sounded too tasty? For this next clip, we've gone to a weird purple country. An experimental place where they're testing out life with only one color.